Hi everybody, this is Emily here from Lucas. Welcome to Whining with Emily. This is our first installment today.
I'm
This is
Scott.
my friend Scott.
Hello.
He's usually talking to you about spirits, but he also likes wine too.
I do.
And one of his big passions is big buttery oaky shards. So we're
I
going to
do.
start by talking about
The good stuff.
the most popular white variety sold in the States today is Chardonnay. So it is one of many Pinot Noir descendants. Goulet Blanc and Pinot Noir got together and had
A little
baby.
wine baby.
Yes,
Little
yeah,
grape
yeah,
baby.
in Burgundy. So white Burgundy is today Chardonnay for the most part, with a few exceptions.
You say that American, like the Carnera style Chardonnay, that big buttery Chardonnay, do you think that is descended from a Burgundian style Chardonnay then?
Somewhat. I mean,
Obviously,
your
it's-
top tier white Burgundies are typically very rich and oaky. But that is one of Chardonnay's big strong points is that it is kind of a chameleon and it can be so different depending on so many different winemaking decisions.
You were really excited about talking about earlier was the difference between maltodextric?
Malolactic fermentation is something that you hear talked about a lot when we talk about Chardonnay. So malic acid is the very kind of tart quality that is inherent in grapes. It's just naturally there. But malolactic fermentation takes that malic acid and kind of breaks it down and converts it into lactic acid. Yeah, so it kind of gives the resulting wine kind of a bit of creaminess. It makes it a lot softer, not so tart, which is, frankly, rather appealing for a lot of drinkers out there. Anyway, so that is a winemaking decision that can occur naturally, but winemakers can do different things to keep that from happening. So we'll see in the second wine that we taste today, the Diatom, they block mallow for the most part. But anyway, also Chardonnay, there's other decisions besides malolactic fermentation component, but that's kind of going to be the big difference between these two today. But whether you ferment the juice in a barrel or in stainless steel or concrete, or you mature it in that later, and is it new oak or is it French oak, American oak, all these different questions.
Concrete.
Yeah, totally.
Huh.
Yeah. So that gives you like a lot of the benefits of the oxidation from a barrel.
Yeah, because it is more porous.
Totally. Yes. Yeah, but then none of the overt oak flavors impacted from a barrel. And then like also the size of the barrel, like is it a big huge barrel and it's not a big bunch of oak, or is it old? They've used it for a few different years to make the same wine.
Well, without sounding too much like a lush, I think we should get on to tasting the stuff. So I think we'll start with our malolactic fermented Chardonnay. This is Mount Eden Vineyards. This is the 2020 Edna Valley Chardonnay that they produce. I have not had this before, so this will be really exciting.
Mount Eden is a super cool, iconic American winery. It's one we're big fans of, and for a bunch of Euro snobs, like have a wine department that's kind of saying a lot. So very elegant, kind of old world styles. Edna Valley is away from their home base in the Santa Cruz Mountains, but Edna Valley is a really cool wine region in California and San Luis Obispo area, kind of by Paso Robles, but very influenced by the ocean. It has one of the longest growing seasons too, so it's like kind of the low and slow mentality with your brisket making is in effect here for the grapes growing, so they're accumulating all this flavor very slowly and gently.
That's definitely your cup of tea for Chardonnay.
Totally, as far as the growing season thing. However, what is usually not my cup of tea, but this is just a very well-made wine and a good example. It's just not the kind of style that I drink a lot, but it is completely fermented in barrel. And they stir the lees, which is another winemaking decision. So the lees is
Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, no, go.
You will hear me talk about lees more, especially when we get to rum. Oh boy, talking about Jamaican rum.
Notice the difference in the rolling of this one, though.
Yes, with with wine, something I do know is that in previous videos, you might have heard me talk to guys that when you want to roll a spirit, that's what you want to do. You want to roll it. You're not swirling like you do with wine. With wine, you do want more of a vigorous motion. You actually want to get some speed and produce something. Again, don't do that when you have a spirit in your glass because you're going to
so like
the oils are going to get exactly like when people say, oh, don't bruise the gin.
Yes.
That's what they're talking about. There are a lot of volatile oils that can get displaced, and then when you sip something, it can be very incomplete. Wine, you want actually that kind of motion. This is okay. Don't do this for a spirit. Don't do it.
Okay, stop trying to make it about spirits again.
Sorry.
We're talking about Mount Eden and our Edna Valley Chardonnay. So this comes from the oldest vineyard in the Edna Valley, which so this is totally fermented in barrel. They do the lees stirring, and then it's matured in barrel, 8 to 10 months depending on the vintage, and then before they bottle.
This is amazing, by the way. This is everything that I want from Chardonnay.
Yeah, and this still has a ton of acid too, which to me is one of the byproducts of this malolactic fermentation. So not only are you taking malic acid, changing to lactic acid, you also have diacetyl, which you might know as the movie Popcorn.
Yeah, this is lovely.
Yeah, for me, this is very textbook Chardonnay. So this has got like I said, it's still got quite a bit of acid, so very, like to me, lemon peel and very fresh lemon.
Meringue.
When we talk about fruit flavors in wines, I know it sounds like kind of a lot of fluff and stuff, but just know that these are kind of vague suggestions of if you made a magical juice out of all these things, then it would kind of taste like this. Citrusy, golden apple. You kind of talk about all these different qualities about green apples, different than golden. Also some kind of tropical, like kind of an underripe pineapple.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
So I always get like underripe kind of tropical stuff in white wines.
So the way that what makes it very enjoyable is that it is full front. If you want something where you're actually being able to taste things like butter and whole milk, like whole cream, it comes through, and the mouthfeel really embody that on the finish. But it's like I said, it's on the finish. It is not the first thing you taste. It is the last thing you taste. That to me is what is a good mark of a good Chardonnay.
A wine is very temperature dependent too, as far as when kind of flavors are going to merge and that sort of thing. So like I like to, with my whites, just take it out of the fridge and then kind of leave it as I'm drinking on it throughout the night because it's going to get warmer.
A friend of mine, Michael Scherzberg, who runs Vintage 78, and you should totally check it out, has said, as Americans, we drink red wine way too warm, but we also drink white wine way too cold.
Wine number 2, this is Diatom. This is a fairly new project from Greg Brewer from Brewer Clifton, who's
he's a big nerd.
Like Santa Rita Hills, wine enthusiast, winemaker of the year, kind of thing. So yeah, we're really relatively like close neighbor-wise, so we kind of have control for that variable. But this wine, no oak whatsoever, totally block that malolactic fermentation. So they're looking for really tart, very linear type expression. Again, it's a marine type climate, so
if this was a shooter, it would be doomed.
Yeah, sure.
Back to my previous tangent, if there's not a sandwich that you adore, you're lying to yourself or you haven't discovered it yet.
I enjoy it.
What do you think, what is your initial impression on like the nose and stuff? So it's kind of fun to think about wine before we even taste it, because it can be also interesting if what you smell and what you taste is not quite the same, doesn't line up, or
that's really exciting.
So that just adds,
I mean, it is incredibly acidic, and it's hard to kind of pinpoint that. I get kind of that bright, super ripe lemon. I get maybe a hint of something lavendery or lilac-y. There is a floralness, but it's definitely underpinned by a rich. This is not lemon oil, this is lemon juice, if that makes sense. on the taste or on the nose.
I do get a very strong like mineral kind of quality about this for sure.
Minerality
on the nose, like to me, and when we talk about mineral with wine, I know that sounds very.
It'll mean different
fake.
things for everybody.
To me, a good example of what a mineral is like rain on asphalt. So that.
Yes, that's a great.
And there are different. To me, there's also different mineral too, because then there's like hot blacktop and
tar.
Tar is very common in like Nebbiolo and stuff. And I heard you guys talking about tar on mezcal, and then that kind of
Scotch,
like a little epiphany moment for me.
I don't really get asphalt. I get a touch of granite is something that I get, or maybe limestone.
But yeah, to me, I find this to be kind of softer and milder.
It is.
Like
it is. And that minerality on the finish is definitely what's pulling it. I get like fresh white flowers, but it has a softness, the way that the acid doesn't build.
But
there's
anyway,
always
so this
a
is
German
something that I
counterpart.
would really like. So if you have been turned off by Chardonnay in the past because you don't like the oak, this is like if you like Sauvignon Blanc, this is something that I think you could get behind. It's not quite as like rip your enamel off, acidic. Full-bodied whites like this can stand up to definitely more sort of cheese like Gorgonzola. But very traditional pairings for a fuller-bodied white wine like Chardonnay. Shellfish is huge, so of course lobster and butter, crab.
You wouldn't say shrimp. You want?
But I mean like lobster and crab are the most full-bodied.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Egg-type dishes, which are really hard to do with wine.
I'd say spicy pork.
Like frittata. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I would say spicy pork. Not like regular pork to me is a medium or light flavor that can go really good with light-bodied wines. But when you look at I'm a huge fan of Asian culinary dishes. Spicy pork tends to be incredibly rich when it's done. And I would say that the Mount Eden would go really.
I even like pulled porks, barbecue, pulled pork sandwiches, like lots of different pork applications, of course. If you're veggie, then Alfredo sauces and cream sauce things for sure. Butternut squash risotto, that kind of thing. Really
oh my god, I'm hungry for that.
Yeah. So crab cakes is also a fave.
Yeah.
We kind of covered 2 different camps of Chardonnay, and also for me this was super valuable in
maybe
I was totally expecting really different things from these wines, so that is a pleasant surprise in and of itself. In addition to them being delicious, and they're both for us these are both $23.99. If you'd find these
That's
other
amazing.
places about $25-ish bucks. So these are totally awesome, really killer quality for the price. So come by and pick a couple of these Chardonnays up, or come talk to us about other Chardonnays. We have the unoaked Chardonnays quarantined off in their own section, so they're easy to find. If one of us isn't around, but yeah, always find one of us, and we can show you quite the versatility and diversity that we have in Chardonnay from around the world.
And once again, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and if there's something you liked, something you didn't like, make sure to leave a comment below. Otherwise, we'll see you next time, and
thanks for whining with Emily.
Thank
Cheers.
you. Cheers.
Bye, guys.